The demands begin. It had been years since the divorce, and I'd done my best to move on. The house was quieter, my days simpler, but the wounds remained hidden under the surface. My ex-wife Laura had remarried a man named Richard, a man I knew only by reputation. He was ambitious, calculating, and had a habit of turning everything into a negotiation. The first inkling of trouble came in a letter. I hadn't thought much about my father's estate in the months following his passing. It had been a private matter, something my lawyer and I worked on in quiet reflection of the man who raised me. But Richard wasn't the type to let sentimentality get in the way of an opportunity. The letter was short and curt, written by Richard himself. He claimed that, as Laura's new husband, he was entitled to a fair share of my father's estate. I laughed at the absurdity of it at first. But as the days passed, his demands grew louder, the letters more threatening. In Chapter 2, The Legal Firepower, I took the letters straight to my lawyer, Grace. Grace had been a family friend for years, and there was no one I trusted more to protect my father's legacy. "This is ridiculous," she said, flipping through Richard's demands. "He has no legal claim to your father's estate." "None," I nodded, feeling a wave of relief. "So what do we do?" Grace smirked, leaning back in her chair. "We play by the rules, our rules." In Chapter 3, the plan unfolds. Grace's first move was to respond formally, laying out the clear legal boundaries. Richard, of course, didn't take it well. He escalated his threats, implying that he would take the matter to court and drag my family's name through the mud. But Grace was 10 steps ahead. She started digging into Richard's own financial dealings, uncovering a string of questionable investments and shady business practices. It wasn't long before we had enough leverage to put him on the defensive. Chapter 4, The Confrontation. The climax came in a tense meeting at Grace's office. Richard arrived with Laura in tow, his usual smug demeanor masking the uncertainty in his eyes. Grace didn't waste any time. She laid out the evidence of his overreach, his lack of legal standing, and the financial skeletons she'd unearthed. Each word was a calculated blow, chipping away at his confidence. By the end of the meeting, Richard was visibly shaken. Laura, too, seemed to realize the gravity of the situation and the man she had chosen to marry. Chapter 5, Moving forward. In the end, Richard withdrew his demands, retreating with his tail between his legs. Laura sent a brief apology, though it did little to mend the years of hurt. But for me, the ordeal was a turning point. It was a reminder of the strength I'd found in myself and the people who stood by me. My father's legacy remained intact, not just in legal terms but in the values and memories he left behind.